What's going on, internet? Welcome back to the URL versus IRL podcast. I'm your host, Bri Lynch, here with Casey.
Hey,
All right.
how's it going?
I'm going to be quite frank with you guys. We are recording this literally a couple days before it comes out, so this is probably not going to be such an on-brand episode today because I'm stressed out. It's fucking holiday season, and my brain is not working right. So prepare yourself for a very off-brand episode. Let's roll the intro music. You're tuning into URL versus IRL. Hosted by Bri Lynch. Welcome back, Casey.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm feeling better now that we're doing this.
Now that we're doing this,
Yes.
do we want to explain where we are, the change of location?
Yeah, I think we should. You want to explain it? 'Cause
Yeah,
you're the
we
reason we're
are
here.
taking a weekend to rest and relax. We're down at my family shore house down in Delaware.
Yeah.
So much needed relaxation time, eating good food. And, I think we're trying to hustle and bustle to get as much work done as possible.
Yes. Yeah. I'm constantly, guys, I know you guys don't know me personally, but I am like such a progress kind of person. Like I literally can't turn my brain off. And when we got here on Friday, I was going over the podcast episode that I was supposed to release this Tuesday coming up, the one that you're listening to right now. And it was like a 2.5 hour long podcast, and I cut it down to 1 hour and 10 minutes because I disliked it that much.
Right.
And I was just like, I don't want to put out an episode that I don't like. So then Casey and I came up with this idea, and now here we are.
Yeah, so do we want to talk about the basis of our episode today? I think we were going to just go over like
Kind of
how we met, like
Yeah.
our intro story.
Yeah,
'cause-
literally. I feel
and
like
I'm just here. So
I feel like I have been doing a lot of reflecting because it's the holiday season right
Right.
now, and I've just been kind of like thinking back to like early episodes that I did on the podcast. And one of the episodes that I did was with Josh and Ryan, and it was called Making Friends as Adults. And I think that came out like right before or right after the high school reunion episode that we did.
Right.
And what's hilarious is both of those actually kind of tie into how you and I met.
right, absolutely.
Which is so funny because like I feel like right after I did the Making Friends as Adults episode, suddenly I like became friends with other adults.
Right.
Like right after.
Yeah. And I think for me, I was listening to that episode and was like, oh, this really resonates. I'm really glad that we're starting to become friends with
Yeah.
Bri and Josh. So like a little bit of history. Do you
Yeah.
want to talk about like the high school reunion and then I'll
Yes.
transition that into like
Yeah.
real time?
How it got into where we are now. Yeah. So oddly enough, if you guys listened to the high school reunion episode, what's hilarious is I mentioned somebody in the high school reunion episode, and I was just like, I really did not have like the time of my life at the high school reunion, which sucks because I was really looking forward to it for like 10 years. Like I wanted to go to the high school reunion so bad, and I was just so excited for it. I moved back into the state of New Jersey, like right on time for my high school reunion. Not planned, but it just happened to work out that way. So I felt like all the stars were aligning, and then I kind of had like a horrible time while I was there. And I really felt like I only connected with like one person the entire night. And I was like, I invited them to my birthday party. It's in like 2 weeks. Hopefully they come. I don't really know. Like they haven't responded, whatever. And I just felt like we had like a good connection at the reunion. So hopefully it works out. That person was Alex, which is your boyfriend.
Yes.
So Alex and I became friends. Alex immediately, like, I invited Alex to my birthday party. He came. I was happy about that. And then he's like, hey, you guys should like come over to my house and like meet my girlfriend and I'll cook us all dinner. And I was like, cool. And here we are now.
Right. And here we are now. And I think
Yeah.
it's so funny because from my point of view, like it was, all right, Alex is going to this high school reunion. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Like,
good for him.
I hope like that he connects with old friends. And he didn't even mention like those people that he connected with that he hadn't met before. But then a few weeks had passed and he brought up, he was like, hey, like I got invited to this birthday party. And it was this, he was like, it's this girl that I went to high school with. Like we spoke at our reunion. And at first I was like, pause. Like, who is this girl?
Yeah.
Why am I just hearing about her?
Now,
Why am this human coming out of nowhere
woodworks,
now?
yeah, the
Like,
woodwork.
I don't know any of, like, I know all of your friends and the girls that
Yeah.
are like around your friends, and it was just like it caught me off guard. I was like, what is the deal here? Because
Yeah,
like
what's happening?
I didn't go to your birthday party,
Yeah.
and Alex was like, I don't really know what this is gonna be like. He
Mhm.
was like, I guess honestly, like a little bit like nervous about going to the party.
Probably, yeah.
And he was like, I want to see if they can be someone that we can be friends with.
Yeah.
So I think he went into it hoping like that will solidify, like, all right, me and Casey would be able to be friends with them moving forward.
Yes.
And I think it was like a week after that,
Yeah.
like we invited you guys over
For
and
dinner.
that was in like August.
Uh-huh.
And we've hung out like every single weekend
No,
since
actually,
August.
it was the end of June because my birthday's at the end of June. So you guys
Yeah.
invited us over in July. And then when we went over to you guys' place, I was like, Josh really connected with Casey more than I did. And like, I felt like I just sat there because you guys got into like an intellectual
Right.
conversation that I had no part in being in. So I was like, let me just shut the fuck up and I'll listen. And hopefully she doesn't hate me by the time that we leave here. And then Alex hit Josh and I up and was like, hey, we're going to go like pick peaches for Casey's birthday. Do you guys want to
Yeah.
come? And I was like, yeah. And then we just have been like literally hanging out every single weekend since then.
And I said it the other day, I was like, it feels like we're like living our lives as like two couples together,
Yes.
which is funny. But I think that is kind of what sparked like the idea for me to join and co-host was because
Mhm.
we are clicking so well. And I think what clicks so well for us is we're so different,
Yeah.
but then we're so same in
Yes.
similar aspects. Like,
Yeah.
what was the one thing that you and I are like absolutely the same about? And I said it the other day. It was like, I need to be sitting down.
Mhm.
Like,
Yes.
I need to be sitting. And you're like, yes, no, I
Yes.
get you. Got you.
I will be 90 degrees at all times. I do not need to be standing up ever.
But I think more importantly, like, our friendship like came at a time where I really, really, really was struggling to have adult friends.
Me
Because,
too.
you know, I had like my friends from high school,
Yep.
which are all like over the place doing their own things on their own paths alive. And I see them but it's not that same connection. And then I
Yeah.
have my college friends who, you know, I spent 4 years of my life living my life with them, where you get
Yes.
to see friends every single day, all day.
Mhm.
They're your go-to to like now in adulthood, like navigating friendships when you're not in the partying scene, when
Yeah.
you're not like when you have a partner that you're also considerate of, like it
Mhm.
gets challenging. And I think to know that we have another couple that we can be so close with,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
that's what makes the difference because it's not like, oh, we're going to go hang out with Casey's friend or like we're
Yes.
going to go hang out with Alex's friend. It's like
Yep.
they're our friends.
Yes. And you know what's so funny is every time that Josh and I are done hanging out with you guys, every single time we get in the car, we're like, I love them so much. Like, we're
Right.
just like so happy. And we're like, it's so cool that we have so many different like little dynamics within our group of four. Like, I'm
Right.
friends with Alex, you're friends with Josh, I'm friends with you, and like Josh is friends
Right.
with Alex. Like, it's such a cool, like, little dynamic. And I feel like it's something that it's really hard to get a hold of in adulthood.
Absolutely.
Like, to find that and like for everybody to be kind of also like established as friends at the same time is
Right.
wild. Because
Right.
normally you get like two people that have been friends for like 10 years and then they introduce their partners and maybe you all get along.
Right. And I think that was the cool part because like you weren't really like friends with Alex like
No.
that in high school. So it was almost like starting a new friendship for even you and him, even
It
though you
was.
guys knew each other.
Yeah. We just like realized that we had something in common just because of the internet. It was cars. Like, we just had the cars in
Right.
common, got into a conversation about that. It was great because neither one of us was like jumping into the like, what do you do for work conversation right
Right.
away, which I really appreciated. And I don't know, like, I think he like had mentioned hiking and I was like, I love hiking. I haven't
Right.
gotten to do that since I moved. I would love to go. Like, please tell me where to go. He's like, yeah, Casey loves hiking. We can all go. And I was like, cool.
And what I love about our friendship is like now we are at a point where like we actually go do stuff.
We
Like
do.
there are points in time where like we're just chilling, rotting. Like last night we literally just
Yes.
laid around on the couch by the fireplace.
Fucking watch
and, like,
Monsters Inc. on VHS.
watch
is sick.
Monsters Inc. Like ordered takeout. Like
Yeah.
I'm good for a jammies and takeout kind of day, but
Me
I
too.
feel like we structure our weekends to like have a mixture of like doing something that is like a structured activity.
Yes.
And I think that that's so different than like so many other friendships that I have where it's like, let's just chill.
Yeah.
Like there's no destination. There's no
Mhm.
like goal of what we're going to do. We're just existing. We're like, I
Mhm.
feel like so much of our connection and experiences then further when we're like out in the world fucking doing stuff
I
together.
think that that's why all of us have kind of become as close as we have, as fast as we have too, because we're like literally building relationships and memories and like stuff like that together right off the bat. Like we're like just creating all these
And I think
experiences
we're
with each
all
other.
the people that are like, all four of us are people that are like, okay, we all want to do this. Bam, let's do it.
Yeah,
like,
we jump on it too.
Like there's no like, oh, let's talk about it. Maybe we'll do it in the future. Like,
no.
If we want to go for a hike, we're going for a hike tomorrow. Like if we want to go, and here's one thing about our fucking relationship. We are some shoppers.
Yes, we are.
I feel like so much of what we do is around like craft markets and like going into cutesy towns and going shopping, which I love. I'm always down to shop.
Me too.
But like, I think we also have similar, while we are so different, we have similar interests.
Yeah. But I think that like our differences is what keeps everything interesting too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, oh God, I'm like so fucking grateful for our friendship. And like, it's just such a cool thing, even now with the podcast that the two of us have gotten to get into such good conversations that we're like, this shit works. Like,
and I think
works.
that's the thing that's been paramount to me in like our relationship is the conversation is consistently in depth and like, it's not just small talk. It's not gossiping. It's not shit talk. Like it's just true in depth, intelligent conversation. And I know you think that you don't have intelligent conversation, but you do.
Thanks.
You know what I mean? Like
that.
I think in a room with the four of us, we all bring certain dynamics and like unique aspects to the conversations that make them so meaningful.
I think so too. And you know what? Something, guys, actually, I got this cool ass thing when we were out shopping a weekend ago or 2 weekends ago. And it's called conversation menus. And actually, we're going to do an episode. I think the New Year's Eve episode is going to be a conversation menu conversation. And it's like this sick ass little game. It's like literally.
I have them right here.
Hell yeah. Pull that shit up.
Conversation menus.
Yes. Yeah. And it's like literally just like it looks like a menu when you open the thing up.
They have topics like resolutions, utopia, hope, self-knowledge, love, ambition. And it's nice because they have like 7 or 8 questions. And each question, there's like a starter question, a main course question, and a dessert question.
Yeah.
And we did one of them. I don't even remember which topic we picked, but we sat in the living room and just did like, I think we only got to like 2 questions.
Yeah, it gets
because it turned
deep.
into like a 2-hour conversation.
Yeah, it gets deep. I'm so glad I bought that thing. But I think that like the fact that we're all having like deeper like this group is extremely vulnerable with each other, which is crazy. Like as
and
early
I think
as we are.
Like I was saying this morning, like this is like you guys make me feel like I'm safe enough to go through what I go through.
I'm glad
because I struggle with anxiety in social settings and like new friends, new settings for me are always extremely, extremely anxiety inducing. And like I have never once felt around you or Josh like I couldn't just take the time that I need to like
I'm so glad
do what I need to do and get through the moment. You know, it never feels like I'm being stared at or judged.
No.
And I think we all are. Like even Alex has said, like, I feel like I'm more vulnerable to like express myself more to them, to have different conversations than I have with my group of bros. Because like I told him, I was like, the conversation that even you have and bring to the table with us is totally off the wall compared to the conversations I hear with you and your boys.
Yeah.
I think it just like it breeds a better connection. Like it's a deeper, more meaningful connection, which like I guess we weren't able or didn't have the capacity to have those kind of connections when we were younger.
Yeah.
Which now it's like you're surrounding yourself with the people that you want to be with for your life.
Yep, absolutely. And I think that that's like something, obviously I'm going to have this whole conversation again when we jump into the New Year's Eve episode, but that's something that I really have missed so much when I lived in California was like, I felt like I could not gain like these deeper connections with people and I couldn't make like true friendships that were like going to be everlasting long life friendships because everything was so surface level. And I feel like that even with like the automotive community a lot of the times, which is how I met so many of my friends, because it's just this one thing that we have in common and like maybe we'll find the same things funny and then we just kind of like stick with that. But it's been so fucking nice. So I think that like I don't know. I just wanted to be able to like kind of tell our little story of how we even
Right.
became
Yeah.
like this little duo now. And like,
And now here we are. I feel like it's
Yeah.
like not even been a year. And
No.
like you are my closest friend
Oh,
that I have.
stop.
Like, and like one of my closest friends, like I've obviously like I have my best friend that I grew up with my entire life.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
and she is my person, but like on the adult level,
Yeah.
there's nobody else that I go to.
me
Like we
too.
spend all of our time
It's
together.
very true.
Which I miss because if there's anything that I always said that I missed from college
Mhm.
was having that access to my friends.
Yeah.
And I feel like me personally, as I've grown up through adulthood, I've moved from living in South Philly where all of my friends were a bus ride or a walk away
Mhm.
to living outside of the city where like it's harder for my friends without transportation to come and see me. So
Yeah.
like having the access to like you and Josh to be like, and the open door policy of like just
Yeah.
come over whenever, like
Mhm.
that brings me back to that like safety that I felt in college of having people around you all the time.
You know, and I feel the same way because I feel like even in California, like it was always like we had to go out and do something. Like we had to be
Right.
like going out to get breakfast or we had to be going out to do this or do that or whatever. And it wasn't even like we had a structured activity that we were going to go out and do and then we were just going to chill and hang and
Right.
like chill on the couch. It was not like that. It was like, this is the activity and then I'll see you later because I have to go. I
Yeah,
have to do
like
something
that
else.
just like the fact that we're able to be like, all right, let's do this. And then we probably know that we're going to chill for the rest of the day, rest of the night, and
Yeah.
we'll figure it out along the way.
Mhm.
Like it just feels more natural.
I agree,
And
yeah.
that is really refreshing. And
Mhm.
it just brings me back to like that comfort that I felt in
Yep.
college of having access to people.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when we go through our adult lives, like as you grow up, it becomes more isolating inherently.
Mhm.
Like as you get
Absolutely.
into your job, you get into your partnership. Like I love spending time with Alex every day, but
Yeah.
like there's points and times where like he's the only person I see all week besides my clients. Like we
Yeah.
get narrow minded into our jobs and
Mhm.
the pool of people that we have to reach really gets smaller.
Yes.
So I think that that is like really why the value of your adult relationships is so important,
Yeah,
right?
and you know what? I think that like even I don't know. I think again like reflecting back to the like making friends as adults conversation, I'm glad that it resonated with you because I think it resonated with everybody in a way that people hadn't heard a conversation like that in like a
Right.
while. But I think it's just cuz people are like afraid to be vulnerable, but it is
Yeah.
so fucking hard to make friends as adults and I think that like one thing that I really think helped our friendship grow into what it was is that we acted on it right away.
Exactly. It
Yeah.
wasn't just like all right, we'll hang out at some point in time. And then
No.
3 months down the road, we never hit each other up. It was
No.
like, all right, we're willing. Next weekend, we're making plans.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I think like the continuity, like just the consistency behind our relationship
Has
has
really helped us build, yeah.
really helped for sure.
I think so too. Like
And I think it's hard, like when you talk about like, oh, like that last conversation about making friends as adults, like really
Mhm.
resonated with people. And I think it's because there's a lot of grief that comes around growing up and
Yeah.
realizing that your friendships are changing.
Yeah.
Because that was something that was really hard for me to personally process was like, maybe these friendships that I have had prior are just kind of growing their expiration date. Like
Yeah.
we are on the same page, like, and now as an adult, like you have to find people that align with you because
Yeah,
like
it's true.
that's the basis of a good friendship.
Mhm.
But it's hard to then process and kind of be like, this is what I'm losing
Yeah.
when, and I don't want to say everyone's losing their friendships that they've had, but your friendships as adults change. And that's something that can be something that you grieve.
Yes, and it's also scary too when you do like meet new people cuz you're probably like, okay, what are we going to talk about? What's the
Right.
vibe going to be like? Like what
Right.
do we have to do? You know, and something that I think that like casually helped the four of us was we played a lot of fucking games. Like we would like play Catan, you guys taught us how to play Palace, we'd play fucking Uno like and it we were able to like kind of get a little competitive, which I think is like nice because
Right.
that's like a little vulnerable. Like you're like,
Right.
oh, I'm seeing a different side of you than like usual. and we were able to have like kind of casual conversation in that way
Yeah, and
rather
I
than
think
like
it was
being
like adding
forced.
structured like activities into the
Yes.
getting to know you thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was also really cool for me because like I don't really have groups of friends that'll sit down and play like structured games.
Yeah.
Like doing things that were inherently not revolved around getting fucked up
Mm-hmm.
was something completely new for me.
That's awesome.
Like, and it was at a time where I was moving away from being in a place in my life where I'm really fucked up. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't drink anymore. I was
Mm-hmm.
really heavy into the party scene, and it was hard for me to navigate life outside of that because of how
Mm.
many friends and how many relationships that I had were solely based off of getting fucked up.
Yeah.
So I think it makes me even that more grateful to know like that our relationship and our friendship with you guys isn't based on an exterior
Mm-hmm.
factor. You
Yep.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's genuine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, dude. I think that it's I don't know. I mean, I think even like in the holiday season, as we're in the holiday season right now, people seem to be a lot more like we talked about in the Thanksgiving episode. Like people seem to be so much more like just like jolly and like giving
Right.
and nice and like more outgoing, I think even. And like I feel like if you have a connection with somebody, like you should try to act on it
Yeah,
if you
like reach
can.
out, try and
Yeah.
set something up, invite people over to like
Mhm.
just let if you want to come watch a holiday movie, like come do it. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
And I think that like friendships can even be found in like the weirdest places that you wouldn't even recognize. Like another really great friend of mine that I made this year was my friend Sydney, who you've
yeah, I
met.
love her.
She's a barista at my favorite
Right.
coffee place, and we just
Right.
would talk so much that I was like, let me fucking follow you on Instagram.
Right.
And now suddenly like we're hanging out all the time too. And I'm just like, it can really come from anywhere. And again, as you guys know, I think words are like super powerful. And I think that the things that you say out loud are the things that are going to end up coming true in your life personally. And it's like crazy to me that like after I literally had the making friends as adult conversation, now
Right.
here I am with like some of the best
With
friends that
some
I've
of the
met.
best friends,
Yeah.
right? I feel like that the relationships that I've been able to also build based off of knowing you guys, like
Mm-hmm.
I've met so many more people that are genuinely good people to be around
Yep.
through meeting you guys. So
Yeah.
it's like the way that you can also expand your friendships as an adult and just create like a community
Yeah.
that feels safe to everybody is
Mm-hmm.
something to really be grateful for as an
Yeah.
adult. It's such a small, it's not like, I don't want to say it's a small thing because it isn't, but like it's one of those things that aren't materialistic that are so important and can
Mm-hmm.
be so valuable to an adult's life.
Absolutely.
Like the meaning that it brings. And I texted you guys on Thanksgiving and was like, your guys' friendship is one of the things I'm the most thankful for this year. Like, because it was so needed. Like,
Yeah.
where I felt so isolated.
Yeah.
And now look at us. We're like,
I know. We like literally talked about coming down to Delaware like last fucking week, and you were
Right.
like, "Okay, the house is open, let's go." And I was like,
but like
"Okay,
that's
cool."
like that's how it works though. Like
Yeah.
we're like, all right, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this. Like,
Mhm.
and we're always doing something, and it's nice. But I think
Yeah.
it's also nice because we're able to say, all right, social battery is like
Mhm.
really low, just need to rot.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
and that is fine.
Have some scrolling time, watch
And
a
I
movie.
think you and I are also on such a similar page as like our energy levels.
Oh my god!
Where
I feel
it's
like
like-
the first time that we ever really got to like bond one on one was when we went to the Green Day concert. And I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, this is my girl," because like
Yeah.
I realized that like both of us had the same like energy level at the same time. Like I was like, "Do you want to just like go fucking sit down?"
Yeah, right.
We like sat down in the middle of the pit, like on the floor. Like we were just like, we're just gonna fucking sit here for a little bit right
Or
now.
like the energy level, like when we're at home and the boys are playing Magic, and we're like, let's just go to sleep on the couch.
Yeah, just take a
Like, do
nap
you
on
need
the
a makeup wipe? I need a makeup
Yes.
wipe. Like, it's time to take the makeup off.
Yes.
And
yeah.
like, we're always definitely on the same page with that, which
Yeah,
is
we are.
like, that's cool to have.
Yeah, it's dope. And we've like literally like pushed Josh and Alex off on their own before and have like taught them to become friends
Right.
because we're like, oh, we're gonna go do this so you guys can, I just think that like people, generally speaking, for anybody that's listening, if you feel like you have a connection with somebody, like you should probably just try to like reach for that a little bit, And I mean, the worst thing that's gonna happen is like you're gonna be like rejected or whatever.
Right.
But like I feel like as adults, like people probably appreciate that now because
And
who
I
doesn't
think
want friends?
People appreciate authenticity. Like,
Yeah.
I think that like the most important part is showing up to these relationships or potential relationships with like just putting on exactly who you are.
Yes, honest
Like
front.
that is, I think, what goes such a long way is just being absolutely authentic and genuine, because that's what's going to attract people towards you.
Yep.
Like, I think that like when Alex introduced like who you were and was like, Bri, she does, like, he gave me the spiel of like, this is what she does.
Yeah.
Like, this is the work that she does. Like, and I was kind of like intimidated at first. I was like, she's like, is she Hollywood? Like,
No.
because I'm like, but like, I didn't like, but once I met you, I was like, oh no, like, I'm going to still show up as my authentic self.
Yeah.
And like, none of those preconceived notions, they were just completely washed away.
Yeah.
Because like, you showed up as your authentic self and you were very much not your job, which is what was explained to me.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. You know, what's funny is I was actually intimidated to meet you, because when Alex told me that you were a social worker, I was like, oh, she's like, she probably gives a fuck about the world so much, and she's gonna be like, this Hollywood ass fucking bitch, like, she's not. I was like, oh god, I hope that this goes well. But I was like, but Alex is cool, so like, I'm assuming that his girlfriend's
Did you think I was gonna be like a blue hair, like caring about like the world? Like, because I think when people hear social worker, sometimes they're like, they're just that blue hair liberal. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck that much. Like, I give a fuck about the world and justice and my job. But like, it's not all of who I am.
I was really hoping for that. And I was like, I really hope that this goes well. But like, it's Alex. Like, it has to make sense. There's no way that it's not going to make sense.
Right.
Because if I connected with him that fast, unless if he's like a total opposites attract kind of guy,
right?
Like, there must be something that's going to make this okay. And then Josh, I never worry about him because he could talk to a brick wall.
He's the most social human
I know. Isn't it crazy?
Like, so social, so outgoing.
Yeah, I aspire to be more like him.
Like, I think Josh is like, he knows how to make someone feel truly comfortable.
Yes, he does very quickly, which is hilarious because when I knew Josh way back when I was young, like, he was not nearly as talkative as he is now. Like, he was very quiet and very like reserved and, you know, kind of hard to talk to and all that kind of thing. And then like, I don't know if it was just like him being in the military that brought that out of him or what, but yeah, he's a totally different guy now, but I never worry about him anywhere. I'm like, if I can't have a conversation, he for sure as shit can, and I could just sit there.
Right.
You know? But,
and I think all of our social levels balance each other out, because there's definitely times where you and I can be like, we're going to go inside ourselves now.
Yeah.
And like on Thanksgiving, you and I were in the corner. Yeah. Like, let's just sit over here.
Girl,
and
it was
we'll
like
talk to each other.
9:30 at night. I was like, all right, it's time for me to go back into my little crab. Where
like
crab.
Josh and Alex can remain very social. We're like, all right, time to cut it off. Like,
yeah, time for y'all to go.
Right. Like, and we can just like be you and I together and like just sit and rot and scrolling. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah,
look
exactly.
At this. But that's about as low as my social battery goes.
I know, same. I know.
But I'm thankful.
Yeah, me too, dude.
I'm
glad
that you guys were able to get like a snidbit of like who we are,
of our relationship. Yeah,
how this all started.
I felt like that was so important to do, like as like co-host now, especially because I mean, even though like as you guys know, this is not an on-brand episode. We're not talking about the fucking internet. You guys know we could do that for a while, but my brain's just not fucking working right now. It's the holiday season. I'm a little stressed out every single day because I'm a productivity kind of person and my brain can't stay still. So I think that even moving forward, like throughout the holidays, I don't know if you guys have checked, but every fucking Tuesday is like a holiday right now. So like the next Tuesday that's coming up is the 17th. We've got an episode planned for that. But then after that, it's like Christmas Eve is a Tuesday.
It's Christmas Eve and then New Year's Eve is a Tuesday.
So like I really was also talking to Casey about this, and I was just like, I'm kind of like, I don't know what I'm gonna do because I don't want to skip episodes, especially for those of you that are really active listeners and like messaging me about the podcast every week. I don't want to like abandon you guys, and I know how I would feel if my fucking favorite show didn't put out an episode. Shit.
I get so upset when my shows go on like holiday break.
I hate that shit.
Yeah,
I
I'm
hate
like,
that shit.
I have the time off. I really wanted to listen to that new episode.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't want to like abandon you guys, but I think that we're gonna go a little off track for the holiday season and just have like
some real conversations.
Yeah, genuine, real, like deep conversations, I think, and just, you know, kind of get to know each other a little bit more. Because I don't know. That's something that I want to do in the new year. And I'm sure you guys will hear about that in the New Year's Eve episode when we dig into that conversation menu.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
I hope that you guys are able to at least take away some of the important things that we're talking about and some of the things that we're hitting on. If they're relative to you, if they resonate with you, let us know. Like, we want to be able to create a community where you guys can also be having a conversation with us. And if there's anything that you want us to cover, topics that you think would be interesting to hear about, we probably have connections where we could probably make that happen. So like, drop some feedback. Let us know how we're doing.
Or even like an off the beaten path kind of episode between me and Casey. Like, literally just let us know what you guys want to hear. And we are here for that for you. Okay? So I think that's about it.
That's
right?
a wrap, right?
Shit.
Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you next Tuesday.
Stay safe.
Bye.